Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, the best fighting game around at the moment, and gets people excited as soon as they hear the name. It is the 5th installment in the Super Smash Bros. Series and was released worldwide on December 7th, 2018. The game is praised for its large amount of content and fine-tuning of existing Smash gameplay elements, although its online mode is a bit lackluster. Now, it was estimated that the game sold a staggering 5 million plus copies worldwide within 3 days of release, making it the fastest selling Switch game ever. However, there's more to this game than you would think, because inside the files of this game are also some leftovers from the pre-launch days. Certain elements they wanted to use or older versions of them, heck, even some stuff that never made it into the final cut. So let's find out what lurks within. First up, some unused series names that can be seen in the game's strings, but don't really have a purpose. Devil's Third, Jet Force Gemini, and Blast Corps are listed along other series, however, no form of content from any of them appear in the game. Which is a bit weird. It seems like they wanted to include stuff from these titles, however it might have been scrapped thanks to the owners. Nexon now owns the rights to Devil's Third and released its online for Windows, causing Nintendo to shut down the servers for the Wii U version. Blast Corps and Jet Force Gemini are both Rare-developed Nintendo 64 titles, but the company and rights to all the original IPs are now owned by Microsoft. These two things could have made it hard to include stuff from these titles. They still haven't added Banjo-Kazooie after all, probably for the same reason. Still interesting to see though that they at least tried to put it in. Now, another thing left in the files is some models from certain items used by the fighters. One of them is Donkey Kong's bongo drum.
While they were used for DK's Conga Beat Final Smash in Brawl and Smash 4, in Ultimate, Donkey Kong received a new Final Smash based off of Donkey Kong Jungle Beat. The bongos still live on in two-dimensional form through the Donkey Kong and Bongos spirit. Interestingly though, the bongo drums have had their textures upgraded since the Wii U installment, despite not being used at all. Which could mean they wanted to bring it back in Ultimate. One reason for ditching this plan could be the need for being more new. They didn't want to make the game a simple port. Nintendo really pushed it to be a fresh and new title with everything it could possibly need. This might be the reason for dumping and adding something different. Now, the model of the fairy, which appeared in the previous game when Link used his side taunt, is also in the game files and completely unchanged. But he boasts a different, fairy-free side taunt in the game, and is consequently the only one to not be accompanied by a fairy. Yet again, something they probably changed so it seemed less like a port and more like an actual new title. However, there's also something on two completely new characters, Simon and Richter. In their model archives, there is a short, fully metallic weapon. Now, when looking at it, one would assume that it would be used in situations where their whips would be shortened. Examples of this would be the uppercut, blade dash, and when their whips are holstered. But in all of these instances, the whip model itself is readjusted to accommodate for the actions when necessary, and so this stake model simply isn't used anywhere. Now, this was most likely made when they were still working on the moveset of these characters and making sure the animations made sense. However, in the end it wasn't used. It could even be that some of their attacks used to be slightly different, maybe in terms of range. But we can't be sure about this, but it's certainly interesting to see. Now, another area in the code where we can see some strange things is at the moats that the game has. Because the well-known home run contest is mentioned several times in the game's code. Now, little to no viewable stage data for the moat can be found on the game's files or stage folder. The same being true for the stage builder, but it's something. However, this previously mentioned code is most likely leftovers from Super Smash Bros. For Wii U, which features both the home run contest and stage builder. So while a lot of people got hope for these modes to return, the chances of it happening are small. It was just a leftover from the older titles, sadly enough. Now for our last point, a certain character that is in the game isn't really in the game, and this is a bit weird to be honest.
The boss Giga Bowser. Now, the version of him that's used for its boss fight is unlike any other boss in the game. Internally, it's classified as a fighter, and he has placeholder data of camera content, a Kirby copy ability, a final smash, a result screen, and even alternate costumes. Which is weird, for sure, but when looking more into it, stuff starts to make more sense. because this seems to be a leftover from where it originally appeared as Bowser's final smash in Brawl and 4. But you can actually have fun with this, and a YouTuber named Mastolico shows this off in a video. By hacking Giga Bowser into the match as a fighter, he appears to work with a full-on moveset and can be knocked back like in Melee. But winning as him outside of a team battle goes to the results screen briefly and crashes the game because the announcer call for Giga Bowser is missing. Now it's a bit weird that all of this is possible. The Ultimate was completely different after all. However, we think there's a logical explanation for this, and it has to do with the Light World and his boss fight there. This could be the reason why it's all in the game. They took the one from Smash 4 and just put it in. This saves tons of time after all. It's really cool though that it all works, for the most part, since it can certainly crash the game as well. And that's all we got. Clearly, there was some interesting stuff lurking in the files of this killer Smash game. Thanks for watching everybody, I hope you enjoyed. Be sure to click the annotations on the screen right now, click the bell button, click subscribe, give us love, like, comment, and I don't know.